Your referee in charge of the action is Dave Jobin.
Dave Jobin draws the refereeing responsibilities as we're set for this 145-pound MMA battle between Brandon Pfannenstiel in the white and blue trunks and Joe Pearson, the triangular strangler, in the red with black tights underneath. And right away, trying to pull guard is Joe Pearson, going for his bread and butter, Joe Wilk.
One of the few guys in MMA that will do that, and he's got 45 wins as a pro, and most of those are off of his back. I was telling you when we were on break that, as far as I know, don't take my word for it, but I believe that Joe Pearson has the most finishes by triangle in the history of mixed martial arts. He wins most of his fights by triangle and has 45 wins, so it wouldn't surprise me. Either way, guy's got a dangerous triangle, is very comfortable off his back, and is showing that by being able to pull guard. And now this is where he's comfortable. See if Pfannenstiel is able to play from the top safely here, if he's going to try to pass.
5'10", 145 pounds, both of these fighters. And again, on the experience side, Joe Pearson has it easily over Brandon Pfannenstiel. Pfannenstiel was at 11-1 as an amateur, 6-1 as a pro. And on his side, Joe Pearson, again, 45-21 as a professional mixed martial artist. And I know people watching right now that aren't real familiar with the game may think that Joe Pearson is not where he wants to be, but that's exactly opposite of what Joe Wilk is telling us.
Again, you know, I fought Joe Pearson, and we knew going in, the guy likes to fight from his back. It looks like he drew blood on one of those elbows there. Nice short elbow. We've got a cut already, opened him up. From his back, he might be okay, bleeding off the side of his face, but if we end up standing back up, that could be dropping right into the eye and be a problem.
Bleeding pretty good.
Yeah, because he's bleeding good. There's a good little short elbow from Pfannenstiel.
Pearson tried to drop an elbow from below. Pfannenstiel trying to stand up and drops another elbow. Looks like he may have cut him right across the forehead as well. Another cut opens up on the forehead of Joe Pearson. So it looks like it's above the right eye and also across the forehead.
Yeah, he's really got him opened up. You know, Pfannenstiel trains with Aaron Cerrone at Mid-America Martial Arts, and they're dangerous everywhere. Those guys' elbows are so nasty. You always got to be careful in the short range with any of the guys from there, and Pfannenstiel's just doing a really good job here, doing damage from the top. We're halfway through the first round, and he's definitely winning.
Let me ask you something. For a guy that loves the triangle, that's probably not real good that he's bleeding too, because that's going to make his opponent a little bit slicker. But he looks like he's trying to fight for it anyways.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When you're 45-21, you've bled before. You know?
And you figured out ways to be victorious.
Another good elbow
from Pfannenstiel.
Yep, we're getting some stitches after this fight, but you know, I've seen plenty of times a guy bleeding comes back and ends up winning the fight, but we've got a wet one here.
Well, I'll tell you what, this makes up for the 4 groin kick fight between the Chupacabra, Tony Ortega, and Dwight Joseph. This is for sure going to give the other fight fans at home something to be excited about. A good way to end our live fights here on Fox 42, and check out the color on the canvas.
You know, something you got to think about here, we got a minute and a half left in the round, and Joe Pearson's got to wonder if they're going to let him continue the fight. He's got 2, potentially 3 cuts above the eyes there. It looks like they're all in the forehead, eyebrow region. And when he's standing up, those might pour right into his eyes. Victory's not known for stopping any fights for things like that, but it could be a possibility, so he might have to get extra busy here with a minute left and try to finish this fight. He's looking for a Kimura there. He's got his arm through the armpit, but he abandons it. Pfannenstiel doing a good job controlling from the top. I think he feels in control of the fight right now and is just trying not to make a big mistake.
There he goes, trying to pull that arm out from Pfannenstiel. Pfannenstiel holding on for dear life as he knows that he has this first round in the books if he can hold on for another 40 seconds. Joe does pull the arm out, but right away Pfannenstiel does a nice job of thwarting that, and nasty blood all over the face of Joe Pearson.
Yeah, I think it might have woke him up a little bit, though. You know, he's getting more active here. He's looking at sweeps and submissions, looking at strikes from the bottom. He's looking for that Kimura again, and he's trying to change it to a sweep. Pfannenstiel, really good base, doing a good job here. not taking huge chances. He's got this one in the books. He's got the first round in the books. He knows it, so he's not going to take a huge chance right here from a position where Joe Pearson's very dangerous, his guard.
Final 10 seconds here in the first round. We will stay here between rounds, and Joe, I'm not even going to really expect much of a different answer than what we've been talking about, but who wins that first round?
Definitely Pfannenstiel.
Brandon Pfannenstiel knows that he took that first round. That said, Joe Pearson, a warrior, 45-21 as a professional mixed martial artist, so probably not the first time he's been in this situation. And saying, hey, let's go. Let's go up top and touch gloves before we start round number 2, and that's what they do. And we are underway, round number 2. Brandon Pfannenstiel in the white trunks. Joe Pearson out of Bettendorf, Iowa, in the red. And again, going right to pull guard right away, and Pfannenstiel looking to slam him down, and Pearson maybe realized it and got off a nice knee from Pfannenstiel into the midsection.
Definitely and you know, Pearson gets the takedown here. I think that Pfannenstiel was a little too comfortable with him pulling guard and really didn't expect that, but now we've got a reversal of positions here and see if Pearson's able to land some strikes from the top.
Now, what else could come into play here is if Pearson were to start bleeding profusely from this position, that would wind up all over the face and in the eyes of Brandon Pfannenstiel. So not exactly something that you really want to, have to think about, but look at what we're talking about right there.
You can count on it. From the top position, he's definitely going to be bleeding on him, Always that funny feeling of that irony taste of another man's blood in your mouth.
But can that affect you when you're on the bottom? I mean,
it absolutely can. It can affect a fight tremendously, especially, even with just the fact that it's way more slippery because of the blood. It's going to make it more difficult for Pfannenstiel to find submissions from the bottom. And right now, Brandon looks like he's just keeping a closed guard, not really looking to actively sweep, and Pearson's turned this fight around a little bit.
3.5 minutes to go here in the second of 3 5-minute rounds on the professional ranks. The Victory Fighting Championship, 145-pound weight class. Still have 2 fights left tonight. And those should be some good ones. Junior Hot-Handed Hernandez, also out of Bettendorf, fighting out of Milicic Fighting System, will take on the Pitonian, Sean P-Town Wilson. And then in the main event, Zach Mickelwright, out of Milicic Fighting Systems as well, will take on Matt Delanoy for the VFC Championship belt. We'll talk a little bit more about that if we have an opportunity, but this will be the final of our live fights here on Fox 42. We'll have a rebroadcast of this with those final 2 fights a little bit later at some point. 2:45 to go.
Yeah, we're halfway through this round right now, and Joe Pearson's turned it around. He's definitely controlling from the top, and as of right now, halfway through, he's winning this round. If Pfannenstiel's not able to improve, we could be looking at a third round, winner take all. Lots of blood on the floor.
You were a guy, unfortunately, Joe. I've seen you bleed a couple times. What does that do to your psyche, though, when or do some guys respond to it better than others?
Absolutely.
If you're the guy bleeding?
I think there's a lot of different reactions that can happen. You can get cut, and then it can make you fight more timid. You can get cut and see the blood, and it makes you fight more aggressive. The main thing about blood in fights is the ability to see. If the blood is getting into your eyes to where you can't see, if you can't see, you can't fight. It makes it so difficult. I've bled in fights before where it was no big deal, and I've bled in fights before where I couldn't see punches coming at me and it wasn't a good night. From right now, though, these close quarters, Pearson's doing a really good job, and he's controlling from the top. We're a minute and a half left here in the second round, and if Pfannenstiel finishes this round in this position, we're going to have an even fight heading to round 3.
That's Joe the Nose Wilk. I'm Matt Kelly. This has been Victory Fighting Championship 44 live on Fox 42. Thanks for joining us. It's been a great night of mixed martial arts here on Fox 42. Started with 2 hours of UFC action from the UFC event down in Phoenix, Arizona, and led right into this, which is going to wind up being about an hour and a half of local mixed martial arts action in the premier mixed martial arts organization in the Midwest. Under a minute to go in the second of 3 rounds. Brandon Pfannenstiel on the bottom, being dominated this second round by Joe Pearson, the triangular strangler.
And we've got Pfannenstiel here playing a high guard. He kicked Pearson in the face from the ground there. That's illegal. Landed a good one, too. See what happens here. More than likely is going to for sure get warned, but he could lose a point there. That's a pretty definitive strike there. Since Pearson was on his knees, he's considered a grounded opponent. Took a tough up kick there. Thing, Matt, too, is intent. He intended to kick him in the face, whether he did or not, it looked like to me, even if he missed. Oh, he clipped him.
It caught him. It did.
Yeah,
okay.
Clipped him a little bit.
Took a point. Did they take a point away?
Looks like it. Looks like they're doing it right now. So if they took a point there, Pearson's winning this round as of right now. He could potentially be up in this fight heading to the third.
Pearson giving the thumbs up, smiling a little bit. Pfannenstiel happy to follow him to the canvas.
Yeah, I think Pfannenstiel here knows that he's definitely going to be losing this round and possibly potentially behind in the fight because he lost a point there. He's going to have to really get busy.
We're to the final 10 seconds almost here of round number 2. We will be back with the third and final round as we will take a commercial break as soon as this round comes to a conclusion. The third and final round of Pfannenstiel and Pearson is coming up right after this. We'll be right back. I think they
stopped it.
I think they may have stopped the fight. Joe Pearson's corner telling him he fought like a beast, and that is true. A bloody beast at that. Here is the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee has called a stop to this contest after one fighter was unable to answer the bell, declaring your winner by TKO, fighting out of the Nissan of Omaha red corner, Brandon Pfannenstiel.